Hi, my name is Jen, and if you're new to my channel, I am going to talk about how I became a 5-toe amputee, and I'm also going to go into my diet and lifestyle. I plan on bringing you daily lifestyle vlogs Monday through Friday, and I want to talk about how I became an amputee. Okay, so you're going to associate it probably with diabetes. Even though I do have diabetes, I didn't become an amputee because of that. I became an amputee because I have what is called Brugger's disease, and it is a rare blood clotting disorder where I got blood clots in my right leg, and as a result, back in 2018, November to be exact, I was hospitalized and they found a blood clot. The reason I was hospitalized is because my toes were red and stiff, and they were, I think eventually they had turned black and started rotting, but initially they were just red and stiff, and they put me in the hospital because they wanted to do further testing on me, and they hooked me up with a vascular doctor who discovered through a CT scan that I had a blood clot in my right leg. So what they decided to do at that time was let me go home from the hospital, and they put me on a blood thinner called Coumadin, and it thins your blood, and not only that, it affects your diet. Like, you can't eat certain vegetables like broccoli and spinach, pretty much any leafy green vegetable. And that is the drug that they decided to put me on. And then by the time January 2019 had rolled around, my toes had pretty much rotted and they were dead, except for my two end toes, like the last two toes on my foot. Those were fine and doing okay, but they decided that they were going to amputate and get the toes off of me because I had gangrene set in. So I went and I had surgery on the first 3 toes and had those removed from my foot. And then a few months went by and I wasn't healing very well, mostly due to the diabetes and runaway blood sugar. And they decided to go in and do a revision surgery, and they decided to also take my last 2 toes, which at the time were still healthy, but they were trying to convince me that they needed to take them because the surgery would work out better and it would heal better. I felt like I was under a lot of pressure and I didn't really want to do it because I felt like if the toes were healthy, then why take them? But eventually I caved and they did the surgery and took the remaining 2 toes. So that is how I became an amputee. Like I said, it had nothing to do with the diabetes. It had everything to do with the blood clotting disorder. But the diabetes did make it harder for me to heal, and I wasn't healing well. And my blood sugars were running in like the 200s, and I had an A1C of over 9. And since then, I ended up with a spider bite on my right ankle, the same side as the bad foot. And what happened with that was it got infected, and they did a surgery on it to remove the infected tissue. And from the point on from that surgery, I was unable to walk and I became wheelchair bound. So, 9 surgeries later, I was still wheelchair bound, and about 6 months had gone by. My most recent surgery was in November of 2020, and I had a debridement of the wound, and they pretty much like fixed it up and made it to where it was going to be better able to heal. And that was the point that I decided that I have got to do something about this diabetes, because I was not healing and I didn't want to have a further amputation. I didn't want to lose my foot or my leg. So I was definitely very scared. Excuse me. One of the major steps that I took in my healthy lifestyle change, well, there were two. I quit smoking, and I also went on the ketogenic lifestyle. So now I am on the keto diet, and like I said in my vlog yesterday, I'm not really losing any weight, but it did stabilize my A1C, and it went from 9.3 to 7.1 to now, as of last Wednesday, it was 5.6. And my doctor was really impressed, and she had a student in the room with her, and he was impressed as well. And they told me whatever I'm doing is working, but she also said, I hope you're eating vegetables. And I said, oh yeah, I actually got my Coumadin changed to Xarelto, and now I can eat leafy green vegetables, and I eat now a lot of spinach, broccoli, and cauliflower. And I eat those things along with protein, like meats, like I eat hamburger meat, I eat chicken, sometimes steak and seafood. I'll eat salmon and shrimp. So what I do is I will take and pair a meat with a vegetable, and that is what I eat for my meals. And I eat 2 meals a day. I start eating at about 1 o'clock p.m. and then my last meal that I will have will be around 5 p.m. So that's like a 4-hour window in the day that I will be eating food. And I really, really enjoy the foods I eat. I mean, you would think that if you're on some sort of diet that you would be too restricted, which it is a restricting diet, but the food that I eat on it is very, very tasty. And I have lots of options. There's lots of non-starchy vegetables, and I eat a lot of eggs. I eat, I'll do sausage and bacon, usually for an early meal. I don't always have them at the same time, though. And for dinner, my favorite meal to eat for dinner is taco salad. I will take and put taco meat on a bed of lettuce and then pile it up with salsa, guacamole, and sour cream, and eat it with hot sauce. And I just really, really enjoy that meal. And if you watched the video yesterday, you saw that we got the molcajete, and I noticed in that video that I didn't do much explaining about that meal. What it is you can get it pretty much at any Mexican restaurant. It is a meal for two, and it comes with chicken, steak, and shrimp. And then they top it off with peppers and onions. And I try to avoid the peppers and onions as much as possible because they are not super duper keto. They have a little bit higher carb than I would like. And then on the side, it comes with a salad, which is lettuce, tomato. And tomato is not super keto either, but a little bit's okay. And then it has guacamole and sour cream. And I'll go get my everything but the bagel seasoning, and I will top it off with that. And I love the seasoning. I will put it on pretty much everything. And anyway, like I said, the molcajete is a meal for two. At our Mexican restaurant, it costs about $30, which is not bad because you can feed two people for $30, which works out to about $15 for each person. And even then, I think it had a little bit more food than that because our friend Derek was able to eat some of the chicken out of it as well. So if I were to cut back a little bit on the salad part and share that, I think it could more than well feed 3 people. So that would be about $10 per person. And so I guess all in all, what I do for my meals, as I said this before, I pair a meat with a vegetable. Some common things that I will eat are chicken thighs with, say, broccoli, or smoked sausage with green beans, or anything like that. Or there are even times that I take hamburger, like ground beef, and fry that up with green beans and maybe pop a little bit of bacon crumbles in that. And I'm happy to say that I do have an announcement for this video. I have undertaken a project where I am working on a cookbook so that people can enjoy the recipes that I created or use for my ketogenic lifestyle. And I'm hoping to have that project done in a couple of months. I am aiming for a goal of around 1,000 words per day. I don't know how long it's going to be, but it is going to have about 100 recipes in it. And that's going to include appetizers, side dishes, main entrees, and some desserts, even though I go very sparingly on desserts because I don't like to have something sweet every single day. I do like to have an occasional dessert, so it's going to have a dessert section as well. And I'm hoping that my viewers will be benefited greatly by this cookbook. And I hope that people, I mean, this is a new channel. I have an old channel. If you want to check it out, it's called The Long Way Home. And on that channel, I have several videos about mental health. I don't think I have any about keto, but I do definitely want to incorporate keto. And I also have videos about being an amputee and my mental health journey. I do benefit greatly from keto in the mental health department as well because I am able to think more clearly. I'm functioning better. I used to wake up with extreme anxiety, and a lot of times it had to do with bills and finance and stuff like that. But now I wake up, I'm in a good mood, I'm ready to start my day. I usually wake up for the first time around 5 o'clock a.m. and I might stay up for the entire day, but a lot of times I do go back to sleep until about 8 a.m. And overall, my mood has greatly benefited from the keto lifestyle because I feel like I am functioning better. I'm doing more self-care. I'm doing things for myself. I am not See, I used to be a really cranky person too, and I don't feel like I am as cranky. I mean, sometimes I have my moments because, like, I mean, men, close your ears on this one, but when I get my time of the month, I usually have a really bad, heavy one because of the blood thinners that I'm on, and I don't really like that, but I suppose that there's nothing I can do because I'm not going to have a hysterectomy because that makes women go a little bit bonkers. So I do have to live with that, but otherwise, I feel like I am greatly improved, and like, I'm brighter, I'm more chipper, I'm actually doing more things, like I'm actually reading books now, and the current book, where'd it go? The current book I am reading is Tube Ritual by Brian G. Johnson. I am about maybe an eighth of the way into the book. I got this book from Jason. For those of you who don't know, Jason is my boyfriend, and he had purchased this book previously, and that's kind of where I got the idea about a new channel, because honestly, the old channel, I think I kind of killed it by doing some kind of shady type things that were to help me grow, but essentially it backfired and it kind of killed my channel. But I am not going to keep making this video any longer. I'm going to let you guys go. I might be back later today with more for you guys. By the way, that I'm filming this on Tuesday, February 8th. And my videos will be a day behind, except for the weekend. That'll be like the whole weekend behind, because we're going to film on weekends and publish on Monday. But if you're new here, I'd love to see you subscribe. And also, if you watched the video all the way through, please leave me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to know that you were here. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.